You can take the mask off.
We've all been vaccinated, so if you feel comfortable with following the CDC guidelines, so all the folks up here have been, so whatever your source of vaccination, do whatever you want. Well, I'll wait till you guys are ready. You guys ready? You sure? You ready? Okay. Well, thank you for joining us here today. We're here to make a very special announcement. We are going to be announcing that Becky Mercatoris is going to be heading up the department, the Children's Initiative Director. This is something that I have been talking about and literally working on for a number of years. You may recall that in November of 2018, there was actually a referendum question that was run that came up a little bit short. That was going to utilize property tax as a funding mechanism to do exactly what we're talking about. But because the issue didn't pass that day, it was still an initiative that I and my administration wanted to move forward. And I appreciate the fact that at that time, we had two folks, and you're going to hear from both of them today, Dr. Trish Gadsden and Michelle Figler, who co-chaired a committee that really started to work on this issue and work on how can we help get our young people, our young kids, prepared to go to school and to learn. I'm so excited at the fact that we've got so much economic growth and so much economic development happening in this region right now, but unless these kids are ready to avail themselves to those opportunities, it's almost like in a different world. They're not connected to it. And the only way that's going to happen is through the education system and through when they go to school and they get these skills. But too many kids, when they start kindergarten or start first grade, aren't prepared to succeed, aren't ready to be able to learn, whether it's reading, whether it's math, whether it's social studies, or the other skills that people need through society. So what I wanted to have happen was to have somebody who would wake up every day thinking about that. And in Becky, I'm excited to say that we're going to have that. I also want to thank some other folks who've been part of this. And I want to thank, first of all, County Council for being able to fund this last year when I proposed this in the budget, as we put the budget together last year. It probably could have happened maybe a little faster, but COVID certainly interrupted so many other things over the last 15 months or so. I also want to thank, and you're going to hear from the county manager, Manager McCain, who also worked on this along with my chief of staff, Jennifer Liptak. I also want to give a little shout out to Patrick Dow. Patrick was one of the people way back when he worked for Allies for Children. Now he works for us in the county health department, that was driving a lot of this as well. So there's an awful lot of synergies to come together to this day, to where Becky is going to take this on and be the person that's going to help children throughout this county. So at this point, I do want to bring up County Manager McCain. Again, what Willie has done to put this and elevate this to director status that will answer directly to him. Because that's how important we view this initiative as being. So let me ask County Manager McCain to come up and say a few words. Willie?
Thanks, Rich. Appreciate it. So today is a great day for children and family of Allegheny County. As Rich said, we also want to thank Trish and Michelle, the working group. They provided a terrific framework and a pathway for us to build upon in county government. Rich mentioned also Patrick Dowd in a referendum. To have that discussion come into the public and that effort, that spirit, was to show how incredibly important this effort is. And we really appreciate them bringing it forward. Thank Rich for his leadership to be able to create a new department in Allegheny County that will be led by the right person who has the right energy and right experience, the correct experience to take us where we want to go. The working group that Rich referenced did a terrific job. They have a report that compiled the data, which reinforced what we all thought, what we all suspected, what we all knew, and that early learning and out-of-school programs for children make an incredible difference. But there are challenges. There are challenges with cost, access, hours, location, staffing, and we saw these challenges exacerbated during the pandemic. So we really have learned from that even further how important this is. And that's where Becky comes in. Becky has lived this as her entire life, from beginning, in a child care type setting, and throughout her career, going up to running organizations and being at the state level. Now she's ready to lead us. She will work in our county government structure, and there are so many departments and stakeholders that are going to support her and help her. She's going to work with those stakeholders in our departments to coordinate resources, leverage partnerships, promote access to high-quality learning and out-of-school programs for children throughout Allegheny County. So I want to welcome Becky to our county family. We know she's going to do a tremendous job. She has our support. I know she has the community support. She has the support of so many stakeholders, and this is going to be a success. And I'll end my remarks where I began. And today is a great day for children and for families of Allegheny County.
Thank you, Willie. And again, we know the work that Willie putting the administration together, various departments, and what Becky and her team are going to do will be really important. Let me ask Amy, are we going now to the virtual? Okay. Let me also thank, and you're going to see her virtually, and it's the world we live in these days, Dr. Trish Gadsden. And I want to really thank Dr. Gadsden for the work that she has done, along with Michelle, in leading this committee that really put together a lot of work, a lot of stakeholders that came together, including two county council members, DeWitt Walton and Tom Baker, who were part of the committee, and really working and rolling up their sleeves and getting things done to making this work. So Dr. Gadsden, Trish, thank you so much for what you're doing, and let me turn it over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for this great day, to quote Willie McCain. This is a great day. So many colleagues and advocates have championed this opportunity, and I am so thrilled that the county executive has placed this as a priority to assure that this important work can occur. I had the privilege of working at the request of the county executive alongside of a well-respected colleague, Michelle Figlar, in leading the council, the committee, the working group to lean in on very important conversations about early learning and out of school time. I was happy that Becky was part of that conversation. As my role, we leaned in and really highlighted the conversation and highlighted the point of equity and assuring that we address the important nuances of equity for the residents of Allegheny County. So I was pleased to learn that Becky will continue to lean in on those conversations. We will continue to do the hard work to advocate on behalf of children, and I am willing to work alongside of you, Becky, to continue to support this. This is a great day, this is important work, and this is important for our region. Not only the economic aspects of our region, but the health and well-being of families in this community, in this greater community. Thank you again to the county executive for giving me the great opportunity to serve in this way.
Thank you, Dr. Gadsden. And again, one of the things I think we do very well in this region is we partner. When we have challenges that we meet, none of us can do it alone, or none of our organizations can do it alone. We do it with a whole lot of other folks, and Dr. Gadsden from Macedonia Face, another great organization that we partner with, is one of those folks. And the county manager mentioned this, so Becky's going to be the leader of this, but she won't be out there alone. She'll be out there with an awful lot of partners from our corporate community, our philanthropic community, community groups, nonprofits, government, inside government and outside government. And I know there's been a lot of work the committee has done, and many of us have had discussions, and there's a lot of support for what we're doing. And one of those supports is Michelle Figlar from the Heinz Endowments. They've been just great partners throughout, and Michelle certainly, again, leading this committee with Dr. Gadsden, putting this together to get us to a day where we are today. We're very proud of that, and is to keep the theme. This is a great day for this region. So let me bring up Michelle Figler and thank her for the great work that she has done. Michelle?
Thank you. Thank you. And yes, it is. It is such a great day. So, and I do want to thank you, County Executive, for allowing me the opportunity to co-chair the working group with my dear, now friend, Dr. Trish Gatson. And I want to thank you for your leadership and for the leadership of County Council, for the commitment to our county's children and families. I also want to thank the working group for their time and their talents, and to all the community members who provided their voices, their expertise, and their recommendations. I'm personally excited that the county is continuing to put children and families first in an equitable and meaningful way, and that the opportunity for sustained progress for Allegheny County's children and families has never been more needed and more within reach. This past year has shown us the critical and essential need for high-quality childcare for our early learners and for out-of-school time kiddos. I know that as a mom. It has also showed us the commitment, the endurance, the ever-caring philosophy of our early learning and out-of-school time provider community. I really do want to thank them for all they've done to care for my children and for all of their children. For our county to fully recover from the COVID-19 pandemic, equitable access to childcare is at the core of that recovery strategy. The Heinz Endowments and our board and our staff have a vision of supporting systemic improvements that positively impact families. And this department, under Becky's leadership and with the support of the county executive, the county manager, Jen, all the other departments, is positioned to lead us in that effort and to place Allegheny County as a leader in our nation prioritizing families. Finally, I just want to say I have had the personal opportunity to observe Becky's work at the local, state, and national level. And she brings her passion, her commitment, her expertise to this work. And she will build authentic partnerships across departments in the community with providers and with families to help make the mission of the working group, which was to improve access for all children across Allegheny County to high quality early learning and out of school time, and to make our very bold vision come to life, that all the children are well. I'm honored to be here and happy to be a partner in this work with you, County Executive and Becky.
Thank you, Michelle. And again, the work you guys have done is just exemplary, and thank you for the effort that you put forth in that. And as Michelle mentioned, we knew this was an important initiative before the pandemic began. I think the pandemic has laid bare even more of the challenges and more of the needs that so many folks have. We've got a lot of great pre-K programs that are already out there, but they're not accessible to everybody. And one of the things we want to continue to strive for is equity. Equity in opportunities and equity in services and what we can provide to people in the community. It's also great timing in that President Biden has put this as one of his major initiatives in his infrastructure bill, as he talks about human and social infrastructure, along with some of the physical infrastructure that we all learn about. The fact that he's put forth a $2 trillion social infrastructure plan and a $200 billion into pre-K alone, I think is really important. The only way that we're going to succeed as a community and as a nation is if we've got everybody ready to avail themselves to the opportunity that are there. We've all seen the statistics. The kids that have gone through good pre-K, they do better in school. They do better in social outcomes. They're less likely to get into trouble. They're less likely to do some of the dangerous things that those of us as parents don't want them to do. They'll make more money. They'll have more access to opportunities throughout their lives. So all these things are so important to all of us as a community, and as we want to build equity throughout this program. So now let me introduce the star of the show, the one we've all been her opening act for a while. But before we get to Becky, I want to thank her husband Jake, who's also here. Probably Jake won't get to see her as much as she's out there busy saving the rest of the community. So I want to thank him in advance and thank him for allowing this partnership to occur. As was mentioned, Becky is someone who has dedicated her life to doing this. She's literally worked in the child care endeavor in all different jobs and all different aspects of her life, both at the state, at the local level. She's been part of the state early learning and child development initiative. She's very familiar, was part of Keystone Stars, which is the evaluation program to be able to kind of evaluate the better programs and the ones that we want to highlight and put support behind. And what I will also say to Becky is, while she will be the leader of this, she won't be out there alone. There will be a lot of partners who will be helping her along the way, both from the administration standpoint and out in the community, because again, it's what we do well in southwestern Pennsylvania and Allegheny counties. We partner, we meet challenges, and we solve problems. So I'm so delighted, and let me introduce now Becky Mercatoris, who's going to be the director of the Children Initiative, our director. Becky?
Thank you so much. I would like to begin by thanking County Executive Fitzgerald, his Chief of Staff, Jennifer Liptick, the County Manager, Willie McCain, along with the Allegheny County Children's Fund Working Group co-chairs, both Dr. Gatson and Michelle Figlar, as well as all of the members for their vision around supporting our early learning and out-of-school time system. This really has been a sustained effort, beginning with the ballot question, moving to the formation of the Children's Fund Working Group, and then of course culminating with the creation of this new department. As a longtime Allegheny County resident, working mother, early childhood educator, advocate, and policymaker, I am immensely proud that Allegheny County has created the Department of Children's Initiatives. All of Allegheny County's children and families deserve comprehensive, equitable, and high-quality early learning and out-of-school time services if we are to continue to build our county's reputation as a great place to live, work, and raise children. The Department of Children Initiatives is a tremendous opportunity for Allegheny County to really leverage the strong foundational work of the many partners and organizations that are already so committed to strengthening programming for children and families. It is my vision that in the coming years, this new department will serve as a model for what a committed local government and strong organizational and stakeholder partnerships can build to support a county's early learning and out-of-school time programs, workforce, and then of course the families who use those services. Throughout my career, I have had the opportunity to serve in a child care program, as a quality building support for providers through the Keystone Stars program, as an early learning advocate, and as a policymaker. I welcome this new opportunity to serve our county's children, families, child care, and out-of-school time providers as we move forward to a child care and out-of-school time system that really works for everyone in our county. Thank you.
Thank you, Becky. We really appreciate that. I'll open up now. We taking questions today? Okay.
And Dr. Gatson remains here as well.
Oh, okay, good.
Back on the screen to answer
Thank you,
questions.
Trish. I'm glad you're still there. Good for you to be with us virtually. Any questions anybody wants to ask before, and obviously we're going to have some other further follow-up.
Is there a model for this, particularly you, Becky, that you see elsewhere in the country? We know there are children's funds in other parts of the country, but are there specific geographies you're looking at as a potential model?
There are several different models across the country that really work to leverage this idea of a committed local government structure that really sits between a state structure and then the grantees and the providers who serve them. And we have seen some great success in particularly a few places like Cleveland and I believe Colorado are some of the other opportunities where we've seen folks really think differently about how local structures can start to support providers and really start to see some of those child outcomes.
Good. All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you being here, and you're going to obviously get to see Becky. I guess I'll just wrap up by saying if you look at some of the things in my administration over the years that we've been doing for the last 10 years, we like to put people that are really passionate, that are experts, and wake up every day thinking about the challenges that we have, whether it's been at the airport, in economic development, the Port Authority, the Health Department, whatever it is, parks. These folks that are really experts and work with others, and Becky fits that mold of what we've shown as success in other parts, and I know she's going to be successful, and we're all going to be there with her. But thank you all for joining us, and we'll be talking to you.